everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I have an anime of the week. Now, I know I have been slacking on doing this. And the sad thing about it is I've watched a lot of anime recently. I recently got a promotion, like some little promo thing for like a free 3-month subscription at like Crunchyroll recently, and like I've just been I wasn't even really watching anime like talking about, but when I got the free subscription, I was like, well, fuck. I mean, I may as well take advantage of it. And then I started watching a lot of anime, and like literally, I'm gonna bring up Seth multiple times in this video. I told Seth, my friend Seth, you guys have seen Seth before many times. I've probably watched more anime in the last 2 to 3 months than I have in my entire life, like combined. I've watched a lot, but by far the best anime of the new animes that I have seen in these 3 months, and the one that I'm bringing to you guys today as a suggestion, if you guys are into this, is a little anime called Jobless Reincarnation. Now, I discovered this is the first anime I've of this list of animes I've seen. I found this by accident. Me and Seth, we hang out all the time. We hang out, we do things all the time. We're hanging out, we're talking this shit. I'm talking to him, looking on Hulu, and I'm looking through the animes on Hulu. And I see this one, and we just read the description of it, and we're like, that sounds weird. You know what? Let's give it a shot. And we both ended up loving this one. Jobless Reincarnation is an interesting anime because, well, when I first saw it, I didn't know there were a lot of animes just like this one, but the base premise of this anime is I'm not even gonna bother trying to say the Japanese names. I'm just gonna because I am not gonna remember them. But the base premise is this loser, this jobless, I think he was like 40-something year old, like mid 40-year-old loser, still staying at home with his mom, miserable. You know, all he does is sit around watching, playing video games, watching TV, and just, like the whole, he's this loser, this detached, down on his luck, miserable dude. And this takes place in Japan. He dies. He gets in a bad car accident. He gets hit by a car, and he dies. But when and the story even starts out with him passing out. But when he opens his eyes, not only he is reincarnated, quote unquote, reincarnated into a fantasy world. In fact, he opens his eyes and he's a baby. And he's like, who are these people? Who are these people? Who is that woman? What is happening? But he's a baby, so he can't talk. And the fun thing about this show is he remembers all the aspects of his old life, of his quote unquote real life back when he was just in our world. So now he's been reincarnated into this fantasy world. But the fun about it is, the fun that this show does, which is a nice little twist on it is he remembers, since he's born into a fantasy world, he remembers all the anime. He remembers all the stories and books and video games and lore and the tropes of what it's like to make an anime character in a video game, or to make a fantasy character in a video game, or a fantasy character in a book or story. So he understands these concepts. So, using all of the knowledge he has from our world, he's able to almost come off like a super genius. He just understands this stuff. Now, picture this. It's the body of like a 50-year-old man, and the mind of a 50-year-old man, and the body of a kid. So he's more mature than most people his age. He understands things so much easy. He has a great grasp on the magical stuff, and no one really knows why he's so good. But as the audience, because you he's also kind of serves as the narrator, as we know what he's thinking, because he still has the voice. He still has the voice of a grown-ass man, and we hear, when he talks, as a kid, because throughout the show, he gets about 13 years old throughout the 3 seasons, and when he talks, he sounds like a kid, but in his thought bubbles, he still sounds like a grown-ass man, and needless to say, as a grown-ass man in a kid's body, he definitely, he's definitely a bit pervy. There is definitely some pervy stuff going on with him, especially since, this is a dude who they just openly say up the top, it's like, oh, dude, you just sat around watching porn and playing video games all day. So you gotta imagine that kid being reincarnated and seeing all these fantasy girls and whatnot is just like. But it's kind of, but the comedy is the fact that he is a kid and he has that adult mind frame, because sometimes he says things and sometimes he references things and it's just like, wait, what did you say? And the narrator, the kid, like the guy, especially the dub actor who they got to voice, well, his name in the fantasy world is Rudius, but they call him Rudy. The voice actor they got, the guy they got to dub Rudy's voice, is just hilarious with some of the wisecracking and the observations, because like I said, all of like the stuff, because it's a fantasy world where everyone says their magic spells and does this and do that, and to him it's all primitive looking because, like I said, he's from our world, TV, television, all this shit. So to him it's just like, okay. And it's a very interesting journey. But particularly if the comedy and the in that aspect and the character isn't enough, the thing that makes this character, to me, the main lead of Rudy in this anime, so fascinating and so so interesting is that in his world he had gone through something traumatic. It's why he was in the place he was in. And and in the story, it's almost as if he is trying to, that he sees this opportunity of being reincarnated as another shot at living life the right way, the way he didn't live it when he was in our world. He lived it wrong, which is why I have a sneaky suspicion, because the more I watch the show, the more I'm like, I don't know. He's learning, because the show is almost helping him learn the lessons he never learned when he was alive on Earth, which really starting to make me think that this show is really just his brain, like, is him, like, he's dying, and, his brain, and, like, when you're dying, all kinds of stuff happens to your brain, is that all the shit he's played, the video games, the shows, all the stuff that he's played before his car accident at the beginning of the show, is that this entire fantasy world and all the characters and all the lessons he's learning is his brain. Like, is his brain creating it, and that the show is going to end with him waking up out of a coma or something and realizing, I need to live life. Because that's kind of the thing. He went through this really traumatic thing that I don't want to spoil for you, but in his regular life, he went through this traumatic thing, and he just shut himself off. He just completely shut down and shut himself off. And I, for one, understand the feeling of wanting to shut yourself off, or just wanting to be done with it, and just not wanting to bother and worry about anyone or worry about anything. Just to shut yourself off and just close yourself in. And like, when you really get into that story of him, I was like, I kind of understand. And I kind of understand why he felt the way that he felt. But he kind of became a nasty person. Even in the anime, and when he gets reincarnated as this young kid Rudy, he still kind of has that nastiness to him. He still kind of has that smugness to him. He still kind of has that selfishness to him. In fact, in the show, for a long time, like, he doesn't even, which I understand. I guess I would think the same way if I was reincarnated, had all my memories, and these two people are saying, I'm your father and I'm your mom. I'm like, no, you're fucking not. Like, I've lived a life before. I know my father and mom. But, that's what it is here. And, like, these two people are like, I'm your father and I'm your mom. And for a long time in the show, like, for at least in the beginning, he never really thought of them as that. Like, he just didn't. And even, like, I don't want to spoil anything for season 2, because I'm just going to talk about season 1. But, it's really an interesting journey. And it's fun with him because he's so powerful and he has so much of this knowledge and his mind works differently. So his mind works differently. And it's just fun to watch this character. The world is interesting and very, very interesting. Even though there are still some things that confuse me about the world, it's a very interesting world. The fight sequences, when they do go down, there's not like a ton of fight sequences, but they're there, and when they do go down, it's awesome, it's very clever, and it's very adult. Like, I'm not sure, like, someone explain to me how the Japanese ratings work. Because I've watched some anime that are rated TVMA that have no sex scenes in it whatsoever. And then I have seen animes like this one, which there aren't like which there's not like flat out sex scenes, but it's good enough. Like, there are straight up, like, it might well be sex scenes. Now, the one complaint I had about this anime, and I said it to Seth, I was like, this anime has a lot of sex in it, but it's all used for jokes. All but one. But most of the sex sequences in this anime are used for jokes. Like, are used to get a ha-ha, or, a laugh out of you. For instance, in the beginning of the anime, there is this running gag in, like, the first couple episodes. of fucking his parents, or, you know, his parents going at it. Now, they're not showing them, you know, fucking or nothing, but you can hear it, and it is loud. And, you know, since he's a grown-ass man in this kid's body, and he doesn't really think of him as his parents, he's just laying in his bed like, Jesus Christ, can y'all shut the fuck up, man? Like, brother trying to sleep, and y'all just keep going on and on and on. Like, and it's pretty funny to just see him just go at him. And I love the fact that his dad in particular isn't a perfect guy. His dad's kind of a little sleazy. I mean, there's something that happens that made me go, whoa. And that's another thing about the show that I liked as well. It's very unpredictable. Like, if you think, like, you don't really know where it's going completely. You're just like, I think I know where this is going, but I don't completely know where this is going. But either way, I enjoyed the hell out of Jobless Reincarnation. I thought it was a wonderful anime. I can't wait for season 3 to come out, which it's been greenlit, so should be coming out maybe next year or the year after next year. I don't know. Anime's weird. Like, I feel like if you're not fucking My Hero, or I feel like if you're not one of the big ones, if you're not like My Hero or Demon Slayer or something like a huge shonen anime, then they're gonna take forever to get your season out, and you're just gonna have to just hope that it comes out. But either way, that is my anime of the week. I enjoyed this one. I give it a 9 out of 10. Anyways, thank you guys for joining Comgate Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I didn't really want to go into details about it because I really want people to see it. So that's the best I can do without spoiling anything. Thank you guys. See you again.